Hey guys, so good news, this is the last battle video that I have with the DonChamp Vileplume Reuniclus deck. From now on, I'll be using different decks, actually a lot of ZPST, but yeah, thankfully this deck is retired because it is a pain in the ass to use, plus I'm sure you're getting tired of seeing the same deck over and over. So in this video, like I said, I'm using DonChamp, Vileplume, and Reuniclus. Now, as a refresher, Donphan and Machamp work together in that Donphan hurts the bench, which powers up Machamp's Champ Buster. Vileplume Trainer Locks, and Reuniclus moves around damage. My opponent has a sort of modified Beartic deck. I know she has Beartic and some dragons, and I think Reuniclus and Superior. Kind of a contradiction, but she makes it work pretty well. So, without any further talking, let's get to the battle. As you can see, we are fully set up. I'm rolling the die to see who goes first. Still rolling. There we go. It's tails. And that means my opponent goes first. Now, as you can see, she has a Reshiram as her active and Tornadus on her bench, whereas I have a Solosis active and Phanpy benched. Now, this is not good for me because Solosis is not meant to be an attacker, it's only meant to be used as a tech. So that doesn't really help me at all. So I'm hoping that, she doesn't knock out my Solosis at this point in time. She would need a double colorless energy and a plus power, which I don't think she has. But regardless, she used Pokemon Collector, and looks like she got Solosis, Tornadus, and Snivy. And there's the Cubchoo. Now the Cubchoo evolves into Beartic, whose Sheer Cold attack does, what is it? It's like 50 damage, but the opponent can't attack during the next turn. So that forces, the opponent, which in this case is me, to either switch the Pokemon out, retreat it, or find some other way to get a new active out to attack. Now on my turn, I play a Collector for 2 Oddish and a Cleffa. I take 2 Oddish to set up Trainer Lock faster, so my opponent, if she catches up an Oddish, she can't knock them both out in one turn, so hopefully on the following turn I can Rare Candy a Vileplume into play. And I bench all 3 of those cards. I apologize for the camera being so tilted. I didn't bring my tripod to this event, so I had to use my normal tiny tripod and a box to rest it on. So it's not too good, but I mean, it works. And this battle, if I recall, was really pretty good. So keep watching. I promise it'll be sweet. So she played a Elm here to get the Beartic up, and I am kind of worried about this right now. Machamp has an ability, Fighting Tag, where if the active Pokemon has any fighting energy attached, you can switch the active with the Machamp and attach all fighting energy to that Machamp. Unfortunately, I have no Machamp, so Sheer Cold will really screw me over. Now, I forgot to mention here, she knocked out my Solosis, which was bad, but I had twins, so I can take any 2 cards I want. I imagine I'll Rare Candy a Vileplume out here. We'll find out soon, once I'm done shuffling. But anyway, back to Fighting Tag. Fighting Tag acts as a switch, basically. So the Machamp can attack, when it's, you know, fighting tagged in after a Beartic uses Sheer Cold. And so I do Rare Candy to Vileplume and also evolve to Donphan. And recall that Donphan's Earthquake requires 1 fighting and does 10 to my bench and does 60 to the opponent's active. And I choose to Eek here because my hand apparently sucks. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and I check for sleep, and Cleffa is awake. So right now, she can fully power up Beartic with that water right there. She retreats Reshiram, brings up Beartic, and will Sheer Cold for the knockout. So I'm now down 6 prizes to 4. I bring up the Oddish just to stall and hope for the best because Donphan is weak to water. And its Earthquake will not, you know, do sufficient damage to knock out Beartic. So I bench another Cleffa. It's interesting. Attach a fighting to Donphan. And I think oh, I end up passing because I can't do anything. So next turn I need like a draw support card or a Twins or something awesome to so I can start building up a Machamp. Now she uses an Interviewer's Questions, which means she takes the top 8 cards of her deck and takes as many energy from there as she wants. And I think she took 1 water. Which means she can use Beartic's second attack, which I think is like Icicle Crash or something like that. It does 80, which kind of sucks for 4 energy. It does 80 and is not affected by weakness or resistance, I think. So she attaches a Rescue to Reshiram and knocks out Oddish. Now I'm down 6 prizes to 3. I bring up Cleffa. Place lists on the bench. Now Reuniclus has damage swap, so I can move damage around once I evolve to Reuniclus. And I played other Oddish. That's basically for stalling purposes, because right now I'm nowhere near set up to take on a Beartic. So I do the peculiar move of attaching a Rescue to Cleffa. That is to, when it's knocked out, you know, next turn or whenever, it will go back to my hand and I'll still have Cleffas to use. And then I Eek for 6 new cards. And Cleffa is most likely dead, as I rolled heads, which means Cleffa is awake. So this turn I'm going down 6 prizes to 2. She attaches that water, plays an Oak, where you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. So at this point my only way out is to get a Machamp into play. It's kind of hard because, you know, she has 3 prizes left, 2 after this turn, and I have no Machamps on my bench. So it'll be interesting if I can pull this off. Which, as you can see, there are, what, 15 minutes left in this battle video. So something obviously happens, but you'll have to see what, because I'm not spoiling it for you. And there she knocks out the Cleffa. And I bring up Oddish. And I think I top decked a Machamp. No, sorry, that was the Cleffa I just had knocked out. So, what to do here? Play an Oak and pray for a Machamp slash rare candy slash Machamp. Because if I do that, I can bring up Donphan, and then fighting tag the next turn. And actually, no, I can't bring up Donphan because her attack that does 80 will knock out the Donphan, because it'll do 140 with weakness and exoskeleton. So I do finally pull Machamp. Let's see what happens here. You know, I'm really thinking, like, what do I want to do now? Do I want to sacrifice that Oddish and hope for the best? Bring up the Donphan and do, like, some damage. But see, in that case, I'll lose all those fighting on the next turn, which will really hurt me. So I end up passing. She plays a second Interviewer's Questions. Almost drops all of her cards. It happens. Those sleeves that she has are pretty slippery, so it takes, oh god, 2 grass, a water, and a DCE. That's not good for me. Because now she can power up those Tornadus, or even Superior if she wanted to for some reason. Excuse me, guys. Attaches a grass to Reshiram and knocks out the Oddish. So she has 1 prize left. I'm in trouble here. It's about to get really interesting. That's all I can say. As like I said, she has 1 prize and there are about 10 minutes left in this video. So I consider, and I bring up Cleffa. Thinking really hard what to do here. I attach a DCE to Machamp, play a Twins, with Force actually, I threw that down. Taking a Machamp and probably a rare candy here. Maybe a Twins? I'm not sure what that was that I took there. So I evolved Machoke, which is a strange idea here, and I Eek. Luckily, Cleffa's asleep, so I don't have to worry about dying this turn, unless she has a catcher, which I don't think she does. Actually, no, she can't use a catcher because of Vileplume. So Cleffa will stay asleep, and I'll last 1 more turn here. Now, if I'd rolled heads on Cleffa, the game would be over. That was it. So basically, this was a desperation stall move. She passes. Cleffa wakes up. So, lucky me. So I'm not really sure what I took in that last hand. Or with that Twins, because the smart idea is to rare candy to Machamp. I'm not sure what actually happened there. So I play another Twins that I luckily pulled on the Eek. I should get a Machamp and probably Reuniclus. And I do have both. So now it gets fun. What do I do here? I'm still screwed as I have all 6 prizes left, and she just needs 1. So I retreat the Cleffa to Machamp. Oh, okay. And I attach a fighting, and I'll Crushing Punch for 60, and she'll have to discard the DCE attached to Beartic. Here what I'm hoping is that she doesn't have enough energy to attach to Beartic to, you know, use whatever that attack is. But of course I forgot that she used Interviewer's Questions not long ago, so of course she has energy in her hand. Sheer Cold, that's what it is. Sheer Cold. So she attaches that, thinks it over. Now she also evolved to Reuniclus, so she can move that damage off. If I recall correctly. Well, just watch. So we're talking here, discussing what's going on, I imagine. So she attacks, does not move that 6 damage off. Now that'll prove to be costly here. I have no twins. I'm not sure why at this point. I'm hoping I build up a second Machamp. That'd be useful at this point, I think. Oh, I just remembered why I didn't Rare Candy Machamp earlier. Yeah, Trainer Lock. It's been so long since I've used this deck, I forgot that Trainer Lock is in effect right now. So yeah, my slow evolution to Machamp and Reuniclus makes sense in hindsight. Sorry about that, guys. Brain fart. Now recall, she used Sheer Cold, so I can't attack with Machamp. So I retreat, lose those energies, bring up Donphan, and Beartic has 130 HP. I attach another DCE to Machamp, play a second Machamp. I do some math in my head here. And I use Heavy Impact for the knockout. Now recall, if she hadn't done that, Beartic would have, 0 HP, or no damage on it, and, well, I could probably just, bring up Machamp, move that damage around, and Champ Buster for the knockout anyway. But it was interesting. Definitely an interesting move here. She plays Chern, which allows you to draw 3 cards. See, I'm not sure if it's as good or a little worse. I think it's a little worse than Sage's Training, but at the same time you're not, discarding cards, so it has its uses. And then she passed there. I play an Elm. Probably search for a Machoke. And there we go. So at this point I am fully set up. I am in good position here, even though I'm down 5 prizes to 1. So I evolve from Machamp to Machoke, and I Fighting Tag up my Machamp. And I forgot that energy there. There we go. Then I damage swap that 5 onto my whole bench. Everyone gets some damage. And I misplayed that damage counter on Machoke. It should be 1. That Champ Buster for the knockout. Now the rescue allows it to go back into her hand, so I'm not out of the woods yet, as far as Beartic is concerned. So now it's 4 prizes to 1. She attaches grass. Plays a Reshiram and a Judge. Now with Judge, both players shuffle their hand back into their deck and draw 4 cards. Now I'm not personally a big fan of Judge. I'm more of a fan of Copycat or Oak or Juniper because it's only 4 cards that you draw and you could be helping out your opponent too. So I can't really say I'm a big fan of Judge. Now it's useful in like Yanmega decks where if you match your opponent's hand size, you can attack with Yanmega. But in a deck like this, I wouldn't really recommend it. So she uses Hurricane for 80 and moves the grass to the Reshiram. I play an Oak to get a new hand because apparently the Judge worked. And I'm hoping for a Machamp here. And I don't think I have one, so I just moved my damage all onto Donphan. And a Champ Buster for the knockout. It's now 3 prizes to 1. I am on a tear right now, and I don't think I can be stopped. Because I'm just knocking out things left and right each turn because I'm doing 150 damage, and nothing can withstand that at this point in time. So she decides what to do here. There isn't much she can do. She attaches to Cubchoo, hopes to get up that Beartic again, and passes. And attach a Fighting to Machoke, just so I can get that started up in case Beartic comes into play. I play another Oak to get a new hand of 6. Once again, hoping for a Machamp. For 2 reasons. 1, in case Beartic comes into play, I can Fighting Tag up the new Machamp, and 2, to absorb more damage in case she deals more damage to me. And I Champ Buster Reshiram for the knockout. And she brings up Snivy. Now, like I was doing before, she is just stalling and hoping for the best. She passes, I draw, I play an Elm to get that Machamp into play. There it is. And I evolve. I attach a second Fighting. Not sure why, it doesn't matter at this point. Probably just because. And I knock out the Snivy. So we are now tied in prizes. Next prize wins the game. She picks up Beartic, attaches a Water, and does a meager attack for 10. I'm not sure. Maybe like Paralysis or Sleep? I think it was Sleep. So I Champ Buster, knock her out, and I come back from a 6 prize to 1 deficit. So as you can see, with Trainer Lock decks that use Reuniclus, you can be as far behind as, 6 to 1, and still come back to win, as in this case. That's a big play for Gothitelle decks, Gothitelle Reuniclus, because once Gothitelle's set up, it's really hard to beat, because very few Pokemon can do 130 damage without, you know, plus powers. So that is that for that battle. It's one of my prouder moments, but again, I was going to lose that game until she forgot to remove the 60 damage from the Beartic the turn before. Now, I do think that I still would have won if she'd moved that, because I probably could have just fighting tagged Machamp into play, I think, and then that would have knocked out the Beartic with Champ Buster. So, you know, overall, it wasn't really her fault, but it was an oversight that did hurt her, or could have hurt her in the long run. So that is a lesson to, you know, always make sure you do everything possible in your turn. So, that is it for this battle video and the DonChamp Vileplume Reuniclus deck. Like I said, next time I think I'll be using ZPST against a Gothitelle deck, which is not a good matchup for ZPST, as you'll find out actually. So that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys.